Hello everyone and welcome. In this video I'm going to be sharing my thoughts on Fear the Walking Dead Season 7 Episode 8. As is the norm with all my videos, I won't be holding back on any spoilers, so please do keep that in mind. Anyway, without further ado, let's begin. Oh, Fear the Walking Dead, Fear the Walking Dead, what have you done? What have you done? You bring back Alicia, you bring back the character we've all been wanting to see, and now she's brain dead. She's an absolute idiot in this episode. You bring her back and you make her into a moron. Bravo. Bravo. Well done. So this episode, as you may have guessed, mainly focuses on Alicia, and the episode goes between these scenes of her when she's at Teddy's bunker and back to scenes of her in the present with the rest of the protagonists. And like I said, it just feels like she's an absolute idiot now. It feels like when she was in Teddy's bunker, someone removed part of her brain because she's an absolute moron. So we see this scene in the bunker in which she finds a file of Padre, or a file detailing Padre and what it is, and it turns out that Senator Vasquez, who is the guy that Will is working for, he knows about Padre. It's something to do with the government he was working for, and he knows about it. So what happens in the present is that Alicia keeps Senator Vasquez with her, or the walker of Senator Vasquez, because this dude was dead at the bunker, so she's been walking around with this walker for like 4 months, and the reason why she does it is because that she believes that if she follows Vasquez, if she follows his walker, he will guide her to Padre. The walker will show her where it is. What the fuck is going on? Look, I'm sorry, but these two writers have to be trolling right now. They've got to be trolling. Who would write this shit? Who would write this and be serious about it? Alicia knows what walkers are. Why now all of a sudden does she think that walkers are intelligent? Why now does she think that she can follow one to a location? It doesn't make any fucking sense. And what's even more dumber is that even in this very same episode, there's a clip of her and Will together in the bunker, and because Will hasn't seen a walker up close before because he's been in the bunker the entire time since the world went to shit, she says to him, "Oh, just remember they're a slab of meat, there's nothing there. Don't you forget that." So in the very same episode, she even says that walkers are just dead, there's nothing to them. But now she wants to follow one to a location. She wants to follow a walker. Why? What have the writers done to her? What the hell have the writers done to her character? You know, I said in a previous video, I said in a past review that if I was her, I would have asked to leave the show by now. And I mean, honestly, if I was given this script, if I was given the script that she had in this episode, I would be trying to get out the door as soon as I could. It's just fucking terrible. In the words of Billy Butcher from The Boys, it's fucking diabolical. Like, what is going on? The thing is though, things get worse because of course they do. This is Fear the Walking Dead. It always tops its stupidity with something else. So what happens later on is that Strand runs into Morgan and Alicia, and he wants to feed Morgan to Senator Vasquez, or feed him to Senator Vasquez the walker, and then Alicia jumps in to protect Morgan because of course with this being Fear the Walking Dead, no harm can ever come to Morgan. Not one hair on his head can be harmed in this show. Alicia saves him, but unfortunately she is bitten in the process. We then get this flashback scene to Alicia and Will in the tunnels trying to escape Teddy's bunker, and what happens is there's a cave-in after the nukes are hit, and then Alicia is trapped with Senator Vasquez. And I mean, this is Alicia, right? Why can't she take down one walker on her own? I don't know. She even has, you know, her signature weapon. What is it, like the head of a gun of a tank or whatever the fuck it is? She even has that. She has rocks around her, but she lets this walker bite her, and I mean, I think that's the second time he bites her, because I think it's him back then as well. I think it is Vasquez in both occasions who bites her, so she clearly didn't learn her lesson first time. You know, this guy clearly likes the taste of her. So yeah, she's bitten in the past and she's bitten in the present, and at this point I'm thinking to myself, well, now Fear's going to go down either one of two routes, right? Route one is that Alicia is immune, which is just fucking dumb and fucking bullshit if she's immune suddenly out of nowhere, that she has an immunity for some reason. Or option two is that after she was bitten by Vasquez, she amputated her arm, and then when she got bitten by him again, she was just bitten on her, you know, her metal arm or whatever it is. And again, that is also quite bullshit in my opinion. So the writers, they go with bullshit option number two. We then get a scene of Alicia amputating her arm, so it turns out that she was bitten again on her fake arm, and yeah, this scene was just there so it would just panic viewers and we go, oh no, she's been bitten. But yeah, she was bitten on an arm that was already amputated. Alicia's fake arm is like the dumbest thing I've ever seen. She has a bone sticking out. I don't know if it's her bone from her arm that she's just like glued to it, but why is there bone there? Why is it not a metal arm? I mean, why have anything at all? I mean, hell, if it was me, I would rather have a stump than glue some bloody bone onto me. Like, why is there bone there? It reminds me of that Simpsons episode, the Treehouse of Horror one, where Bart is eaten by piranhas and you see his bones and you see his skeleton. That's what it looks like. It's comical. It's fucking stupid. So at this point I'm thinking to myself, well, at least that's over and done with, right? She got bitten, she removed the arm, we move on. But nope, this is Fear the Walking Dead and it has to constantly one-up itself with its stupidness. And what happens next is that at the end of the episode, Alicia says to Morgan, oh, my arm wasn't removed in time, the infection is still in there, and it's still killing me. Which makes no fucking sense. In the Walking Dead universe, if you're bitten and you're amputated, you either die straight away or you die, pretty soon. After a couple of days at most maybe, or you live. You don't carry on living with the infection for months after. I mean, remember that episode where Teddy and June are in the bunker? And I think they get to like 160 something days that they're in there. So it's been 160 days since the nukes went off, since Alicia was bitten. How the fuck is she still alive? How does she still have an infection in her, an infection from the bite, like 4 months later? It just goes against everything already established in the Walking Dead universe. It makes no fucking sense. Now, I think that in regards to Alicia, things are going to play out in two ways once the show resumes. Number one is that Alicia dies, right? Alicia dies from the infection after fighting it off for 5 or 6 months, which makes absolutely no sense that it took her this long to die. Or it could be that Alicia is lying, that she doesn't have the Walker infection in her. She simply doesn't know, or is misinformed. She doesn't have the Walker infection in her. It's something else. It's some other virus or something that's killing her. But even then, it's still dumb, and it still makes this seem kind of pointless. It makes the revelation that, oh, I've actually got the infection from the bite in me, and it doesn't turn out to be that. It makes that seem extremely pointless. It feels to me like the only reason this scene is in the show, the only reason we have this whole arm thing with Alicia is that so now during the break between 7A and 7B, people will be talking about it. People will be talking about it on Reddit. People will be making these theory videos on YouTube. Oh, is she immune? Is she going to die? What's going on? Because it gives the show attention, right? It just smacks to me of that kind of corporate bullshit, attention-seeking move, just like when Glenn was under the dumpster and everyone outraged about it and it got everyone talking about the show. That's what it feels like to me, and yeah, it just pisses me off. Of course, Fear can go down the other route and they can have Alicia survive because she's immune, which I just think is absolute bullshit. I really don't want to see that. Or maybe, I don't know, what's his name, Will, gave her some magic medicine that stops the infection or can temporarily stop it while she was in hospital. I don't know. But again, if that turns out to be the case and Alicia does survive, then it makes this entire episode seem like a cop-out. It makes it seem pointless. Oh, she just says here that she's going to die, but she doesn't end up dying. So you've only done it then just to get attention, just to get people talking about it. To be honest, I think whatever the writers do now going forward, the show's going to be fucked. Because if you kill Alicia, then you're pissing off the entire fan base. You're pissing off everyone who wants to see her back, and she dies this anticlimactic death. And again, it raises questions as to how she can't even talk, how she survived for so long in the first place. But if you don't kill her and then she does survive, then you have to explain how she survived and you have to explain if she's immune. And again, it changes the whole kind of continuity in the Walking Dead universe. And I just think it's a mess. It really is. They shouldn't have put Alicia in this situation at all. You can summarize Fear the Walking Dead season 7A by describing it as one stupid decision after the other. But I think that this is quite possibly the stupidest one yet. So I'm not going to talk about the rest of the episode in massive detail because it's just awful. But I will talk about some of the other stupid moments that occurred this episode. So the first thing I want to mention is that at the end of the episode, Alicia makes her way to Strand's tower, and Strand is outside. He goes outside to meet her, and what a surprise, Alicia just so happens to see Will's corpse on the floor, and then that causes these two to hate each other because now she knows that he's dead. And who would have seen that come in? What a coincidence that she just so happened to see him amongst the God knows how many walkers there are outside Strand's building. Alicia then asks Strand what happened to Will. Why is his body here? And all Strand had to do was say, I don't know who this guy is. I've never seen him before. But he just flats out admits it. He goes, yeah, I killed him. I killed him because I wanted to hurt you. Why? Why not just lie? It's going to piss her off. It doesn't make any sense. And now At the end of the episode, Alicia's like, we're going to war, and I don't care about a war between these two characters. I really don't care. Are we ever going to get to fucking Padre? Because now we're going to have a war for the next half a season, or a season, however long it takes. I don't care to see a war between these two characters. I don't care to see a war over bloody Will. You know, who cares about Will? Will knew Alicia for like one day, and he's like, oh, I love you. And now Alicia's like so pissed off that this dude she knew for like a week or a day or whatever is dead that she wants to go to war over him. Like, who cares? Moving on, you remember in the last episode where we had that cliffhanger where the red mist was descending and all the characters had to run for their lives? Well, the episode opens with that bit with Alicia running away and the characters running away from the red mist, and then in like 60 seconds it's solved. They run to another area and it's never mentioned again, which to me raises the question as to why end last week on that point? Why end it on a cliffhanger which then gets resolved in the next episode so quickly? What was the point in ending it there? Building up this red mist, oh my god, we got to run away. And then like a minute into the episode, they're like, yep, we're gone, we moved on, we're safe now, we're somewhere else. What was the fucking point? The dialogue, as expected, is just cliche and awful, as is the normal fear of The Walking Dead. I mean, we get phrases like, oh, you don't have to rebuild like him. We can rebuild differently, and I can't keep doing the things that I've done, and oh my god. The conversations on this show are absolutely unbearable. I mean, there's a scene in which Alicia and Morgan are like sat down on these rocks and they're having this conversation, talking to one another, and it's just like all cliche nonsense. Like Morgan's like, oh, I can't keep doing what I'm doing. I'm trying to build a world that doesn't exist. And it's like, oh, for fuck's sake, people don't talk like this. I mean, can you imagine, right, if I met with one of my friends and I just started going, the world ain't like it used to be. I can't keep living like this, man. I can't keep living the way like this because this is not the way, and just talking like that, they would never want to see me again. They'd be like, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm never talking to you again, you bloody weirdo. But everyone in Fear's universe apparently talks like this. Apparently this is normal. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it is normal in the US. Maybe all you people in the US, all you people watching your videos, maybe you all do talk like this. I don't know. Maybe I'm being very ignorant. But no, I'm joking. But again, like, just people who talks like this. Who talks like this with people they're close to? You don't have conversations like this. Also, some of the stuff that Will said in Season 7, Episode 1 in the premiere now makes no fucking sense whatsoever. Because Will says in that premiere that Alicia threw him out for doing something horrible, doing something bad, right? Yet, we don't see that happen in this episode. Like, the only thing that he does to piss Alicia off is saving her. When Alicia is amputating her arm in the tunnel, she says to Will, oh, if it looks like I'm not going to make it, if I get a fever, you kill me. You put me down, you kill me. And then she wakes up in the hospital, I think it's a week later, and she's still sweating, she's still not 100%, and then she gets angry at Will. She's like, oh, you should have killed me, you should have put me down. Which I think is very harsh, because I think anyone in the Walking Dead universe, practically anyone would assume that if you've survived over a week, after getting a walker bite and having amputated, then you're going to be fine, right? But she has a go at him. She's like, oh, you can't come with me, you're not going to work with me now, and just talks to him like shit. And it's like, this dude saved your life. And I mean, is that the reason why she kicked him out? Did she really kick him out because he saved her life? I mean, that's fucking bullshit if that's the case. She made him live, in this nuclear hellscape, surviving day to day just because he saved her. You know what, when it comes to Alicia, I've changed my mind. I don't want her to live now. If this is the way she treats people, if she threw Will out because he saved her, then fuck her. She can die, I don't care. Also, the scene in which Alicia and Will are following Vasquez through the tunnels, following him as a walker through the tunnels, that pissed me off as well. So basically, Alicia and Will, they cover themselves in walker blood because they don't want him to be attracted to them. They want him to follow the mice or the rats, whatever it is, follow them through the tunnels, and hopefully that will lead them to the exit. But the issue I have is that when these two are following him, they're like constantly shouting to one another, oh, he's still going, he's going this way. Just because you cover yourselves in walker guts or you have a disguise on, it doesn't mean that you can go shouting your mouth off and that they won't notice you. There's a reason why the Whisperers on The Walking Dead are called the Whisperers and not the Screamers. Because they whisper. They don't go, hey, Alpha. Like, they don't shout their mouths off because the dead will notice them, right? The dead will notice you if you're noisy. So how does this guy not notice them when they're shouting in the tunnel? Oh, it's fucking bullshit. But yeah, there you go. That's about all I have to say about this episode. This episode is a mess. This half a season is an absolute mess. I'm so glad that this show is taking a break now and I don't have to review it until next year. God, it's so bad. It's so bad. I don't know if this is the worst season so far, but it's up there. Debatable. It may be. It may be. So, yeah, it was terrible. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you agree with me? Or did you like this episode? What do you think's going on with Alicia? Because Of course, that's all people are going to talk about now for the next, however many months until the show comes back on. They're going to just be talking about Alicia non-stop. So you might as well let me know your thoughts. And yeah, I'll see you all soon. Thank God I don't have to talk about fear anymore for a while. Thank you. Goodbye.